Good afternoon and welcome to Abigail Adams Institute and our conversations with affiliates. It is my pleasure to welcome Mr. Pawel Rybacki today. Pawel is a senior here at Harvard, right across the street from us in the Leverett House, and a concentrator in economics?
Exactly.
In economics. Okay, great. Well, Pawel, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, how you came to Harvard, first of all.
It's my pleasure to be here, actually, because this is an incredible opportunity. This is a great community of scholars and people looking for something more than just studying, memorizing, but actually for pursuing knowledge. And I think that's how I found myself here. Coming from Poland, from a Catholic high school in Bydgoszcz, I was looking for something more than just graduating, something more than just taking courses, but actually engaging with people and taking part in various intellectual activities. So that's yes.
And Paweł, when you came, how did you decide? You mentioned you're from a town in Poland. In what part of Poland is that? Bydgoszcz?
Bydgoszcz, yes.
Bydgoszcz. What part of Poland?
That's the Kujawsko-Pomorskie Voivodeship, which is I always describe it as 3 hours by car from Warsaw, 4 hours from Berlin.
Okay, so between the two.
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. So how does a man from the middle of Poland, Western Poland, decide to apply and attend Harvard University?
So I would call this the divine providence because I was just studying on a biology chemistry track back in high school, but then I went for a language course in Vienna in Austria, and there I met a Dominican brother from Providence. He's currently in Providence. He was from New York actually, and I just asked him if it was possible for people like me, just students from Poland, to apply to American institutions of higher learning. If there are any opportunities for any scholarships, because we knew that financial constraints were a major consideration for many Europeans and in other places of the world. And he told me about the financial aid opportunities at Harvard and other Ivy League schools, and this really encouraged me to dig deeper into like what the American colleges are about. And I was just fascinated with the not only the intellectual rigor and academic excellence of these institutions, but also I was just fascinated with how rich the life of students is.
Yes. So, Paweł, in Poland and on much of the continent, there's really no such thing as liberal arts education. People tend to specialize immediately and choose a career path at 18. And here, you don't necessarily have to do this. Was this a bit of a surprise, or what did you think of this experience? You came in, I assume, with a clear, or maybe I shouldn't assume, with a clear path about what you wanted to study. Did you have a clear path, a clear sort of? Did you know what you wanted to do academically and career-wise?
I had an idea. It was an opportunity for a change.
Yeah.
Because, as I mentioned, I was my background is in biology and chemistry, and my background is in natural science and preparing for a degree in medicine. But then coming to America, where the educational system is much different, and it no longer made a lot of sense to pursue like 5 years of college plus 5 years of medical studies. So I decided to look for something that would be both very applicable in the modern world and at the same time that would give me an opportunity for intellectual growth. I found that economics is this kind of field.
Okay, great. So you concentrated in economics at Harvard. And would you mind telling us what were some of the highlights or the best courses or most memorable professors?
There are many of them. I think the most memorable experience for me was writing my senior thesis. And my senior thesis is in cultural economics, which I believe is a fascinating and growing field. My thesis is about the economically significant cultural consequences of the partitions of Poland. So applying econometric tools to study a historical phenomenon that has changed a lot in the Polish culture and economics.
Great. And who was your senior thesis advisor?
David Yang, Professor David Yang.
Professor David Yang. You work closely with him. Wonderful. And so, Pawel, you also, at Harvard, while we don't have a core anymore, the courses you require, I think we have something like suggested, not really requirements, but suggested areas of study. How about some courses or professors not in economics that left a big impression or maybe changed how you think about a field or a problem?
One of them was definitely James Hankins and his course on the history of Western intellectual thought. This course was absolutely fascinating for me, and Professor Hankins gave a very interesting interpretation, and the way he connected the ideas in the course made it very good. Both I would say something that gives satisfaction for both those who are looking for more, but also not a hard course to take for those from other fields.
Yes. Professor Hankins comes highly recommended from the Abigail Adams Institute. So, Pawel, my understanding is you're staying in the United States for at least another year, if not more. You're pursuing further studies in economics, is that right?
Close. Further studies in the social sciences. I'm accepted to the U Chicago's Master of Arts program in the social sciences, which is an interdisciplinary program, which gives you an opportunity to explore different courses from various fields and choose any concentration you would like. And I'm mostly thinking about sociology or political science, but definitely I'm looking forward to this interdisciplinary experience within the social sciences.
Yes, and this is, of course, the very highly regarded MAPS program at Chicago. So, Pawel, tell us maybe a little bit more about your involvement with the Abigail Adams Institute. We met maybe 3 years ago. What are some of the events that you've attended that you remember or that left, again, an impression?
I think the most important event I attended was the first one, which was the colloquium on Alexis de Tocqueville and his Democracy in America, because it was there that I realized what the Abigail Adams Institute is about. It's about people interested, intellectually curious, and interested in big questions for our societies, for our civilization, who want to put in like a broad historical perspective, but also want to discuss them in the context of contemporary events with lots of fascinating insights and most importantly, I think, independent thinkers, which is a very unique trait to have in these days.
Well, I don't think I could have put that any better than Pawel just did right now. So, Pawel, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to have you as an Abigail Adams undergraduate fellow, and I certainly hope you will stay on as a graduate professional fellow even after you move to Chicago.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.